Hi everyone, we're going to check in with Solana today. This is the 4-hour chart. Now just to show you the big picture with Solana, let me just switch it to the daily chart. We are in this big ascending triangle pattern at the moment, and the price action is essentially sitting flush on this lower trend line. We were last here roughly around April 2025, and before that at the beginning of the bull run in October 2023. So we're right at the bottom. It's a really good opportunity to enter for this area. Now, of course, that doesn't mean the price action is going to roll over, but we're looking always for these hard support buys as the most manageable in terms of risk and, of course, profit potential. So let's just zoom in to the 4-hour chart again and see where we are. So this is obviously the zoomed in of this lower diagonal trend line. Now, we have this range which we've been trading in essentially since the end of November, or the last week or so of November, and we've just really been trying to find our feet. Now, we are technically, we're ranging, of course, but this is a higher high, this is a higher low, this is still a higher low. So accumulating on this area is a pretty good idea. And we were talking about previously that we might see a triple bottom of sorts, and that seems to have occurred. So really straightforward. We can be looking to accumulate on this lower trend line, which at the moment is sitting at around $122, $123 dollars. But if you want to wait for bullish confirmation because the market is a bit hesitant and Bitcoin could potentially head a little bit lower, then what you can do, of course, is add a trend line to highlight the diagonal resistance at the moment of this little markdown phase which we're in within the range, and then simply you have a couple of options. Now you can obviously come in at support, which is here around, as we said, about 122, but if you're a little bit concerned, you can essentially just wait for so say we do this, say we form a double bottom under this pattern, you then wait for a breakout, and then you look to come in on the flip side, right? Which then means, of course, that you've got the benefit of being able to come in at the bottom of the pattern in a very manageable place at around 122, that sort of area. But you're also waiting for some kind of bullish confirmation, so a potential move which indicates we're going to have a reversal by breaking out of this essential trend which we're in at the moment, this little markdown. So that's the way you could play it. Wait for a break and then look to come in on the flip side. And that will just mean that a few more buyers will probably come in with you once they see that, as opposed to if you just look to come in maybe here, where there may be less buyers coming in because they fear that we might roll over like this. So very important, of course, to make a determine what signals you want before you're entering, of course, a trade. Now, some people, of course, will be looking to come in regardless of the pattern at this area, as I said, around 122, and that's pretty decent play, right? Because as I said, it's the bottom of this pattern. You can see the price action has stopped here and it's forming a base. That makes sense, sure thing, right? And currently, you know, we're not dipping below these previous lows, so everything's looked pretty stable. So if Bitcoin does turn around from here, we could have a breakout of this pattern. But also, if you want additional confirmation and you're a bit concerned that, you know what, actually I'm still not overly comfortable coming into this area just in case we move over and I want some additional bullish confirmation, then you've got this upper line as well, which is this play, which you can wait for, and that would essentially be you wait for the breakout and then you wait for them to assess, and then you look to come in around here. That would be the idea. Now the reality is that if you get a break of this level here, you're probably going to want to look for a retrace maybe somewhere in this pattern, depending on how bullish the market is. But nonetheless, waiting for that bullish signal, which is a break of this range, which suggests that Solana is going to reverse and go up from here, also could be a good idea if you're a little bit more hesitant and a bit more concerned about risk management. But we've got lots of different plays here. You can break out from here, buy the breakout from here, you can buy the hard floor, or if you want to wait a few weeks, you can potentially wait for a break of this level and around 143, and then look to enter once we've had a break, because then more people will then look to enter their positions once we've had that bullish confirmation. But that is Solana.